The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, People's Pharmacy, and thanks to the great folks over at Hot 1075, ensuring that we can pump through the radio airwaves with these important community conversations. I'm Jamal Hartman, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in the news break brought to you by People's. It's the final day of June. That means that after today, we are officially halfway through 2025, as in 6 months down. Wow, it's floating by, folks. It's floating on by. And I hope that 2025 has been a good year for most of you or all of you. Hopefully you've gotten everything you want out of it. And I hope that you use the first 6 months as a springboard to continue to achieve and accomplish all that you set out to do in this calendar year. But we are almost 6 months down, midway, halfway through 2025 after today. Hope everyone is feeling good. Hopefully you had a great weekend, because we are about to get it started with a very good show for this last day of June. So greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us a part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome one of Bermuda's most talented young athletes and Olympic hopeful, Sakari Famous, onto the show. We're going to be discussing her journey toward the next Olympics. So really looking forward to that. The daily play is Bermuda Trivia today. So don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Let's jump right into it. So last week, folks, we had a cost of living summit that was led by the Minister of Home Affairs, Alexa Lightbourne. And according to Minister Lightbourne, attendees gave positive feedback. I'm going to sit here and be very frank with you. I actually, thanks to Rosalind Famous, who reminded us on that day that it was taking place, I actually did tune in for the most part. The internet was very poor. It was very poor, so it kept cutting out online. But I did tune in most of the day despite those challenges. I tried to listen as much as I could during my workday, as I still had things that I needed to do. I say this respectfully, and I hope that you all share this conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Just make sure we beat the algorithms. And I hope that the minister and her colleagues are tuned in. Look, when I see a Black person, a Black woman, people who are not normally given opportunities and positions like this, I want them to succeed. I want to believe that they belong, that they are good enough. The unfortunate part is I want Minister Alexa Lightbourne to do well. I want to, people already have these negative connotations when it comes to women, particularly Black women in positions like, oh, that they're for DEI or they didn't earn it. I mean, Justice Ketanji, I think Brown right now is facing those challenges despite her resume and her pedigree. But I want her to succeed. But unfortunately for me, I'm not about emotions in terms of just going for something because I want it to do well, or cheering for someone because I like them. I actually want to see the work and results. And for me, this was nothing but a public facade. Why do I say that? Oh, by the way, the question of the morning is, what are your thoughts on the cost of living summit? And did you attend or watch the cost of living summit? But I feel like I see and hear a lot from Minister Lightbourne, but maybe it's too early for me to see results, for us to see results. This cost of living summit, it's this old thing in the United States. I don't know if they say it in Bermuda, but when you have unnecessary meetings, they say, well, that could have been an email. That's how I feel about this. It could have been an email. Most of the people on the panels were excellent, if not all. But they've all said what they said in different forums before, many of them on this very platform. I guess my question to Minister Lightbourne and the government, we have these committees, we have these organizations put together, we have these boards, we have these summits, town halls. I'm not speaking for any other Bermudian outside of my tax-paying self. When will we begin to see the action? When will we begin to see the results from all of these organized conversations? When will we begin to listen to what the experts say? And it's great to have the experts, but when are you going to start, doing things based on what the experts are saying? I mean, they've told you. Because in one breath, some months ago, the government wants to compete with grocery stores, thinking that the grocery stores were taken. And now all of a sudden you want to hear from the grocery stores and the wholesalers. And it was a great, what is it? But there were a couple of issues with this cost of living summit. Let me get my whiteboard out. I had Hamilton Princess. My dear colleague Sancha always asks when it comes to tourism, who are we targeting? And I guess the question to the government, and in particular, Minister Alexa Lightbourne, is who was the summit for? Who was it for? The collaboration part. Collaboration's great, but it only makes sense if we're actually going to do something afterwards. It only makes sense if we're going to do something with it after. One thing that I did learn, well, I knew, but I'm glad that people learned this, was about the codes, right? And I think it was I don't remember his name, but he was it Young? Purchasing manager, VP of purchasing from Marketplace. He stated that the codes on the fruits, right? Those codes mean that they can't come from Florida. There's an embargo. And said that if we done away with that, maybe it helped prices go down. Well, maybe that's something the government can respond to, saying, you know what, we're going to be looking into that so that we can help with that. I think one business said, explain why they no longer bring bananas. But audience, what did you learn? Or did you even attend? Did you watch the cost of living summit? Do you feel it was for you? Yes or no? But what are your thoughts on the cost of living summit? Were you impressed? Do you feel like it represented you? Where do you stand on it? Was it beneficial? Or do you feel like it was just another moneymaker? Or not an expense? Because, it was held at Hamilton Princess. I didn't see them as a sponsor. Maybe they sponsored, maybe they bought it. I don't know. I just thought that, the PLP from whence it came Something like that may have been held at Devonshire Rec or PCC. Or am I being too critical? I'm sure the same people would have come there. Denton Williams, the CEO of Bermuda, the BAC group, he had a great suggestion. Utilities, ownership. By the lack of response this morning, I feel like most of you did not watch it. I'm going to assume that most people didn't attend or watch the Cost of Living Summit. I guess my question then would be, why not? Did the minister or government not appeal to you? By the way, this is your daily discussion brought to you by our friends at Titan Express and Secure Trucking. Let us know, though, audience. Just a simple yes or no. Did you attend or watch the Cost of Living Summit? Yes or no? Did you attend or watch the Cost of Living Summit? Yes or no? I hope that people actually go back and watch it. I think it's available on CITV, on the government CITV YouTube. You can go on there. That's where I tuned into it. But I'm hopeful that people will go back and watch it if they feel like they can get something from it. But it's okay if you didn't watch it, because I think that just shows fatigue. Like, I think Bermudians are tired. They're tired. Less talk, more action. But did you attend or watch the Cost of Living Summit? Yes or no? We've got Suzanne Ingham says no. Jean Ann Richardson says no. Sean Smith says yes. I struggled trying to watch it online. I wonder if his struggle was similar to mine because the internet was so poor. Not to be critical, but I find it interesting that Bermuda sells itself as a digital, whatever location, yet struggles to provide a strong internet connection for important matters. Marquita Lee says no, did not attend or watch. Rosalind Famous says yes, I attended. I think it was useful to have an overview of the different aspects affecting cost of living and hearing constructive conversations. I appreciated that it had a live stream and ability to ask questions. Okay. Headley Swan says, no, also, I didn't know when it was coming on. See, Headley, you know what? I'm gonna say that Rosalind Famous did let us know. She did tell us that day. She did tell us. So I don't think you have audience. This is why we're a community. To help each other, to make sure that none of us miss out. So if you know something's going on, let the others know, because I may forget. It might not be on my whiteboard here. All right. Cherie Dill says, I attended. I found some insights. Looking forward to seeing what actions come out of it. I think the overall theme that it's going to take a collective effort from all of us to fix our issues. And there were some potential solutions that were thrown out. Okay. Manuela John says, no, didn't watch or attend. Sean Smith says, yes, the government needs to improve their internet connection. Yep. Roberto Ortiz says, I believe that you need to be seen. A cost of living in a country like Bermuda is as much as those it involves. 365 days a year, people. Indeed. Charles H. Jefferson II, he says, I didn't watch it live as I was attending Cedar Bridges' graduation. I do intend to watch it, but I've heard that many anticipate more talk than action. I hope that's not the case. Time will tell. Okay. Look, man, I repeat. I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. I absolutely want Minister Alexa Lightbourne to do well. I want her to do well, because too many times women, Black women, are in positions and they are not allowed to succeed. But this just seemed to me like just another conversation. And folks, I want egg on my face. I want a year from now say, see, Jamal, they changed this. The government changed it. No, there's no. Well, I mean, I'm not sure. It was explained why there's an embargo, why we can't import the produce from Florida. Like I wasn't. I don't know if the gentleman said during the summit, but maybe if they did something like that. But also, does this mean that the government's not going to be trashing on the retail and grocery industry now? It's going to be interesting going forward. It's going to be very interesting going forward. Um, what else, audience? What else? What else do you have? Anything else? Real quickly, I'm going to go off topic real quickly. So most of you know I don't watch much television. I watch sports and probably Dateline 2020 because I like to try to figure things out. But this weekend, I did something. So I turned on Netflix, probably like the second time this year, and I watched about 4 documentaries this weekend. 4 documentaries. I watched the Osama bin Laden manhunt. I watched the Poop Cruise. Yep, that's what it's called, Poop Cruise. I watched the Oklahoma City bombing. And last night, I watched The Liver King. I'm going to share something with you, and I really want you to see why I'm sharing this, understand why I'm sharing this. Now, you all know me. I don't do boats in the ocean. I just see no need for a human to be in the ocean. But anyway, I had no intention of going on a cruise again anyway. But after watching Poop Cruise, please don't even waste your time inviting me. It's not happening. The Oklahoma City bombing one exposed middle America racism and how they were so interested in wanting to blame someone from the Middle East. With one lady even saying, oh, they all look alike. It was crazy. Then it happened to be one of their own. The Osama bin Laden one, I kind of knew that story, haven't seen, what's it called? Dark 30 something, that movie. But the Liver King thing is what I really want to touch on with everyone. Remember last week I told you I put in Copilot and ChatGPT. I asked both of those AI tools, what percentage of celebrities, athletes, entertainers, artists represent millionaires and billionaires? And it was less than 1%. I watched the Liver King documentary, and I really hope this hits home with people. There's a reason that I don't utilize content from this show on my own social media. I don't want people to know what's going on in my personal life. I don't need people to know what's going on in my personal life. I don't need my nieces and my sisters and my family. Like that's our personal life. I don't need you to know what I'm outside enjoying this comedian or so on. So you're not going to see that on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter X or whatever platform. What I will share is things that I believe can make those around me better in my community. But the Liver King exposed a few things. For years, he said that he was not, if you're not familiar with him, he's this big bulk guy. He was eating like animal organs and saying that, it's helped him avoid sickness for a long time, right? And I'm watching this, and he denied being on steroids, and then blood test results came back. When the blood test results came back, the Liver King was exposed as being a steroid user. And he was apologetic. And in the end of the documentary, he said, I don't know what I was talking about. I was just interested in the growth and the following. And my dear colleague, Sherry, always speaks about trauma. And I'm speaking to so many Bermudians right now. Put your phones down, get away from the camera. Because the trauma of trying to be famous and known on social media It's not real. This guy literally said it's not real. Now, at the end, he's eating vegetables and fruits, which he told you were not good for you because he was exposed. Folks, social media is not real. And when I come across people who want this fame and they create this social media life, all I can think about is the trauma and what Liver King showed. He spoke about the trauma. How when he was young, he just wanted to be like known and he wanted to have muscles and he wanted because of what he lacked as a child. Go be great at something. But greatness doesn't come with public validation. It doesn't need the approval of people you don't know and who don't know you. Greatness requires maximum effort from you to improve the lives of your community, your friends, your family. Because if it's not real, you know that old saying grandma used to tell us, Nana told us, grandpa even probably said it too. What goes on in the dark comes out in the light. Don't let social media make you believe you need to be something to feel loved. All right, I'm done. I'm going to show some love to Titan Express Secure Truck, and then we'll bring Maya Palacio in for Daily Hour News Break. I can't get my time back. I watched all those documentaries this weekend, folks.
The Daily Discussion is brought to you by Titan Express and Secure. Visit TitanEXBDA.com, your leading tour and transport provider specializing in Black History tours throughout the island. And SecureBDA.com for all your property management, waste management, residential, and commercial trucking needs. Professional, punctual, and reliable service is our commitment.
Happy Friday! Today's news is brought to you by People's Pharmacy. First up, we have a recap of the February 2025 Retail Sales Index from the Ministry of Economy and Labor. Overall sales have increased 0.6% from last year, February. That is around a $94.3 million increase. 5 of the 7 sectors recorded yearly increased, while 2 decreased. Among the increased are food and apparel stores, while among the decreased are liquor and service stores. In other news, Home Bermuda has partnered with the Honorable Tanae Furbert, Minister of Youth, Social Development, and Seniors, and Dr. Tiffany Thomas, Deputy Chair of the Multidisciplinary Case Management Committee. They, together, are addressing homelessness in Bermuda. The ministry has granted $147,000 to support the creation and operation of the Rental Support Services pilot program. The Honorable Tanae Furbert says the implementation of the rental program is a part of their broader strategy to expand social services and address housing insecurity in a meaningful way. Last in the news today, the City of Hamilton's latest public art installation, Laps, Pink Sand, has landed outside of City Hall. It was previously launched in Queen Elizabeth Park. Jessica Aswood, the city's Director of Marketing and Communications, says that the beauty of Laps is that it's designed to travel, to transform every space it touches, and to create moments of connection wherever it goes. If you are commuting to or through town, you might want to go check it out. That's all the news we have for today. Now it's time to take a look at the forecast. For today's weather, we're looking at a high of 82 degrees and a low of 81. Chance of precipitation is currently 40%, spiking at 6 p.m. The summer season is looking to be a hot one, so stay hydrated and thanks for tuning in.
Alrighty, let's bring Maya Palacio in for Daily Hour News Break. And after that, we've got Sakari Famous coming on, folks. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues, because it's about to get good.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, MP. How are you?
You know, I'm feeling pretty good this morning, Jamal. I actually watched that Poop Cruise documentary this weekend too.
Man, Maya, when they were walking around and oh my goodness.
I was like, I think I'm like you. I'm not a fan of like being on boats, big boats especially. I don't really like being on the water like that. I love the water, respect the environment. I'll be on the beach and everything, but like don't really like being on the boats inside. So I was just so curious. But when that big cruise ship came to them, so they got that Wi-Fi connection. Sorry to any spoilers. I'm so sorry, spoilers. But I was like, what next? Like, what was that purpose? I didn't see a purpose.
So they were there to provide food. So the little truck, not truck, the little
Oh, that
boats,
little
yeah, they went over to get some food for them. But I felt for those on the cruise that was stranded because, I mean, remember, they couldn't use the bathroom. They had to use the poop. I'm sorry for spoiling it, folks, but it's just, it was a lot. It left you with so many questions. Actually, Charles is saying a poop cruise documentary. Why? Because it's important. It's one of the most important, especially if Bermuda has an interest in tourism. Yeah, Bermudians need to watch Poop Cruise. It changed the industry actually, because what Carnival ended up doing was removing that clause, because we don't, Maya, let's be honest, when you book a plane ticket, do you read all the terms and
No,
conditions?
not at all.
So people couldn't even necessarily sue because we don't read the terms and conditions of that. Carnival was clear. It was clear. It's like when I went to the safari in South Africa, the first time I went on a safari, it basically had this big sign, and the truck stopped before going in. Like, if you get eaten, your family can't sue. So I'm happy to say you can't. Like, we don't think about that stuff. But
It was something.
yeah, it was a document. And folks, you know me, I don't watch TV. Like, you literally, it takes about 3 people to get me to watch one thing on TV. Like, people have to, you watch it, it would take that, right? But the Liver King one was probably the one that really grabbed me, because to me, it related to so many, Bermudians who just want to be known and validated and popular. And I'm just like, folks, if you have to be somebody else to feel loved, it ain't worth it, man. It's not worth it. Trust me.
Yeah. Before I jump into the news break this morning, just following up on the Cost of Living Summit conversation, as you recall, I did post a story here last week on Thursday. So just a follow up and reminding everyone that the commission had come together on Friday. So from that meeting, they're meant to like put into plan. This is what Anthony Richardson said. He's the chairman. Put into plan basically the short term goals that can give us the biggest benefit, and then the long-term goals that'll give us the biggest benefit. So when we're going to see a turnaround and see something happen, I don't know. They didn't have specific numbers, but that's what they're supposed to be doing with this information from the summit, just so everyone knows.
No disrespect, but when you write a business plan, you have to have dates. Like, okay, so we're gonna aim to do this, and we're gonna aim to by this date, that date. I would have thought the Cost of Living Summit. Okay, we're gonna have the summit here. We'll take the recommendations, and by this date, July 31st, we're gonna have this, and then by this date, that's just how things work in like a results-driven space. I could be.
I mean, let's hope they put those dates into plan on Friday when they met together. But I'll reach out. We'll follow up and we'll see what's going on. But yeah, the connection, like everyone said, with internet, that was bad, especially when media was also told to watch the summit from CITV as well. But let's hop into your news break this morning. So good morning, everyone. This is your Daily Hour News Break brought to you by the good people at People's Pharmacy. If you haven't already picked up a gift for your graduate, there's still time. There's still a lot to go and give to show them that you are very proud and congratulating them on the next steps into their future. All right, this morning, we're going to lead into a story about a 54-year-old United States national who was arrested for money laundering offenses. So the man was on board a vessel which was intercepted and searched under the authority of a Proceeds of Crime Act warrant on Monday, June the 23rd. The vessel, along with a significant amount of cash found during this search, was seized. And Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Sharon Joseph, who led the multi-agency operation, said this operation has dismantled a money laundering network geared toward trafficking the proceeds of criminality to overseas terrorists, thus denying an organized crime group of their criminal proceedings. So the BPS has now been in investigation with this ongoing with their department.
You said like a vessel, so it wasn't like a cruise ship with passengers. It was like a private vessel.
It only says in the police report that a vessel, along with a significant amount of cash found during the search, was seized.
Interesting. Okay.
Now, in other news, and this is quite sad to hear, but a 9-year-old was transported to the hospital after a collision. So this happened on Saturday, June the 28th. Police and other first responders were dispatched to report of a two-vehicle collision in Middle Road near the junction with Tribe Road number 3 in Southampton. Initial reports suggest that both vehicles were traveling in an easterly direction when the vehicle in front attempted to make a right-hand turn into a private driveway, and the second vehicle then struck the rear of the first. So the only reported injury was a 9-year-old boy who was transported to the hospital for treatment. The extent of his injuries is currently unknown.
Mm. Well, I definitely hope that that 9-year-old makes a full recovery, because as we often say when we hear about collisions, we because it's not a fatality, we think, oh, all's fine. But I just hope there's no lifelong damage or injuries to the individual.
Yes, yeah, indeed. A lot of the injuries that we don't hear about are the ones that are serious and lifelong. And mainly we report the fatal collisions, but a lot of things also don't even get reported to the police.
Mm.
So in those instances, yes, we hope that it's a speedy recovery and that is no long-term effects from this. Now, meanwhile, the Minister of National Security, the Honorable Michael Weeks, shared insight from the Truth Be Told Youth Rise Against Violence event, where teens from 5 schools across Bermuda worked for several weeks on anti-violence messages. In this clip, you'll hear from the minister and the talking points of 2 schools, which was the Berkeley Institute and Mount St. Agnes. Here's the clip.
Youth stabbings. Berkeley Institute's One Knife, One Moment, One Chance expose the brutal consequences of carrying weapons, urging young people to choose life-affirming paths over impulsive actions. These students told the audience that they had seen things they should not have had to see, and asked a profound and provocative question: what does the future look like if we do nothing? The ripple effect of violence, that was Mount St. Agnes Academy's campaign. The aftershock passionately portrayed how acts of violence deeply impact and hurt families, schools, and entire communities, calling on everyone to help break the cycle. They refreshingly and honestly affirmed that violence was not just a public school problem, and it is indeed an everybody problem.
Absolutely, it is an everybody problem. It's a community problem. It's not discriminating at this point, as we can see from what's happened in the most recent year.
Mm. Yeah, indeed. Yes. So that did happen on June the 10th. Again, it was 5 schools that took part and had different messages with a media campaign on anti-violence in Bermuda. All right. Closing up your news story this morning, an upcoming story you definitely want to pay attention to. Who and what is the People's Independent Coalition? So despite claims on political parties, including the Progressive Labour Party, this group is not a political party. In an exclusive interview, Cyree Bean and Monet Crockwell, both whom you recall ran as independent candidates in the 2025 general election, make it clear what the People's Independent Coalition is for Bermuda. So they also address a recent news story that incorrectly reported the coalition's members. So if they're not running for power, what is their role in Bermuda's political landscape? So don't miss the exclusive breakdown that we'll be presenting here this week.
All righty, I'm looking forward to that, because I think there's a lot of questions, and the more that they seem to do that makes it seem like they're doing it together, the more those who oppose them will say it's a political party. So I'm looking forward to the explanations from them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely a very in-depth conversation. We'll have a long-form version as well, but something to bring here for you guys to get the straight up knowledge as to what they're actually about. All right, so your weather this morning is a mix of sun and clouds with a few showers around. So it's looking like high humidity, still a lot of sun. We got a high of 86 degrees.
All right, thank you for that, Maya. What's today's date? It's the final day of June, right?
Mhm.
So, Maya, crazy enough, I was just talking about the Liver King, and today it's quite a few things. You've got World Snorkeling Day. You've got Please Take My Children to Work Day, but you've got Social Media Day. Social Media Day. So Social Media Day was launched by popular website Mashable back in 2010, and often sees fans of the site going to real life meetups. So best way, share with friends. Well, this is how we're going to do Social Media Day. We're going to share the daily hour, something positive, with your friends, your family, your colleagues. How's that? Yeah. But I want to ask the audience, what's your favorite social media platform? Like what would you say is your favorite social media platform? Maya, what's yours?
I guess in quarter according to my like how many hours am I on my phone app, it'll have to be probably WhatsApp, if I'm being honest, and then Instagram.
Okay. I thought you were going to say TikTok.
No, have to delete that sometimes because that is a doom scroller right now. That'll have me just and time is done. So
yeah.
I have to, yeah, that's not on my phone. Those are strictly on the laptop ones. Like I can't.
Okay. Audience, what's your favorite social media platform to use? Mark Arthur C. Phillips says X, that's the old Twitter. Sean Smith says YouTube. Okay, YouTube. I'm going to say mine, everyone knows what mine is. It's LinkedIn. I just spend so much time learning different things, reading articles. I legit take what I read on LinkedIn and dissect things. The amount of articles from so many different people in your space that I'm able to read and real life situations. So that would be me. Dr. Anthony Richardson says LinkedIn, MySpace. You never forget your first. Says my goodness, just say what's the one that Black Planet? Yeah, just say Headley and Swan says YouTube and Instagram, and we've got Jewel Eve says YouTube. Real quickly, before my head's out, I want to say something. So I reached out last night to a couple people. My dear friend, I'm going to say her name, Jamaica Smith. She was she was behind the scholarship that Bermuda offers. And I said to her, is it me? Or have corporations moved on from celebrating Pride Month publicly? I said, where are all the logos that they would change? And we spoke about it. And I want to ask the audience, I want to ask you all, is this a result of the intimidation by Donald Trump? Of organizations not doing stuff like that? Or is it a reflection of where we are at, where people now are tired of marketing campaigns being shared as PR? I don't know what it is, but it just can't just be me.
I mean, no, I would definitely in Toronto even I had that conversation with friends about how a lot of businesses aren't supporting Pride this year as they were last year, whether it be the logos or just financially. And a lot of it, I think, from the conversations I've had and from what I've seen, is because now Pride, maybe because of the Trump administration, but it's also now become a protest again, which it was initially before anything else, before it became this party event thing that a lot of corporations try to push now. And what most people still want it to be about is having, human rights and decency and everything put on top. But like now it's shifted back to protests. This is Pride is a protest. Now corporations don't want to be behind that. They're behind a party, but they're not going to be behind a protest.
Oh, yeah. Folks, this is what I'm telling you. They're changing that logo. And that leads me to one more thing. See, Maya, you just made me think something else. Here's my problem with this whole boycott of Target. I'm sorry, Maya, you made me do it. Here's my problem with the boycott of Target, folks. I'm okay. Y'all want to boycott, do what you do. But I don't think when Dr. King was saying boycott Wonder Bread and Coca-Cola, I don't think the idea was, okay, well, let's now go support the other guys. Like, okay, so you support, you boycott Target. Do you know the DEI policies of the people that you're going to instead? Chances are you don't, because you don't read the terms and conditions on your damn cruise ship ticket. I say that to say this. If the idea of protest is to not support someone who you know you disagree with, then the answer shouldn't be to go support someone else where you don't know where they stand. The answer should be, you know what? Let's build our own so we don't have to worry about supporting anyone who doesn't like us or want us or appreciate us. But that takes too much work. That requires too much sacrifice and effort. You all could continue to boycott, do what makes you happy. But at some point, we have to make life make sense. And from the outside looking in, we continue this cycle of making senseless decisions to make ourselves feel good. rather than making progress that is good. Maya, you have anything to add, or you want to head out?
Oh, if I continue on with that conversation, Jamal, we'll be here forever, and I really want our guests to come on this show.
Yes, we have a very important guest, Maya. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.
All right. Don't forget exclusive with Maya tomorrow, folks. You don't want to miss it. We're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. We've got Sakari Famous. I'm happy to have her because I've always read about her in the news. I've seen her in the news. Now we get to speak to her. We'll be back after this.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Hi there, welcome to Medical House. We're located at number 6 Bakery Lane. I can't wait to show you all of the great stuff that we carry. Come on inside, let's see. Long days, long shifts, you no longer have to endure comfortable underwear. Designed by nurses, we now offer premium undergarments by Swoop that are unique, fun, comfortable, and functional. The only underwear you'll ever want to wear. Who says high quality functional products can't be stylish and comfortable at the same time?
See it all at our new expanded location on Bakery Lane.
96 degrees, real hot, oh yes.
Summer's heating up, but your home, it can chill. BAC is turning down the heat with 20% off Carrier X-Power mini split AC units. They're sleek, whisper quiet, and smart, thanks to energy-saving inverter technology. New install, upgrade, doesn't matter. Just don't miss out. For a limited time, get 20% off when you pay with cash, credit, or debit.
96 degrees, real hot.
Swing by BAC on Mill Creek Road today.
Discover Drop It, your go-to grocery delivery. Browse and select from a wide range of groceries, from fresh produce to daily essentials. Our friendly drivers deliver fresh groceries to your door fast, saving you time and hassle. With Drop It, you get fresh groceries delivered fast, so you can focus on what really matters. Drop It, freshness at your doorstep, delivered to your door with Lindo's. Why go anyplace else?
Dreaming of expanding your business? With BDC's Loan Guarantee Program, we support your ambitions. Get up to 75% guarantee on bank or credit union loans up to $300,000. Just your vision and our support. Apply today and unlock new business opportunities. BDC, Bermuda business starts here.
At Umami, we don't just sell spices, we spark something bigger. We believe food isn't just fuel, it's connection, it's tradition, it's joy. Our dream? To help you eat better, love louder, and maybe even start a little food revolution. One home-cooked, flavor-packed meal at a time. Because cooking isn't just a chore, it's an act of love. Umami Spice. Gather, cook, connect.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Jamal Hartman here. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Linda's, People's Pharmacy, and thanks again to Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can get on the airways for those who are unable to watch but can sure listen. Don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. And folks, if you haven't already, I ask you this every show, and one day I hope that I don't have to ask or say it at all. Whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, X, or Instagram, do us a huge favor right now and give us a like, love, follow, share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Just make sure everyone you know has access to these community conversations as possible. But without further ado, let's bring in our very special guest of the day. We've got Sakari Famous. Let's give her a warm TDH welcome, audience. Oh, hold on. Hello, hello. How are you?
Morning. How are y'all? How are you doing?
We are good. It seems like you have a fan club out here. We've got Anika the Shield said, Sakari, we got hold on. We got to play the air horn. We've got Rosalind Famous, my little cousin. I mean, they're out there. They're out there. But before we get into anything, first off, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for
inviting.
I gotta ask you, social media day. You're much younger than me. What's your favorite social media platform?
As you know, TikTok be on there on my list. But it's TikTok or Instagram. But as an athlete, I do try to minimize because my focus needs to be on my performance. So
Indeed. I thought Maya was gonna say TikTok. I thought she preferred that, but yeah, Instagram makes sense. Well, again, thank you so much for stopping by. I was very serious. I've read about you for years in the news, seen you in the news, but I feel really lucky to be able to have this conversation with you this morning. But for those who may not have heard of you, don't read the news, or not news followers, just tell the audience a bit about your background and what it is that you do.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sakari Famous. I am Bermuda's first female high jumper over 6 feet. High jump is a track and field sport event where we have an approach where we run, and jump over a bar with no assistance of equipment besides our own body and high jump spikes. Yes, that is what I do.
Wow. So real quickly, I mean, how did you get into high jump? Like, what's specialized? I mean, children run, they do gymnastics. At what point did you just start, oh, this is the one that I'm going to do?
Well, my journey actually started when I was a kid in Bahamas, when my mama was going to medical school. And one of my best stories I could tell is that I was in gym class. My gym coach was a track and field coach as well. And one day he just decided to start up this high jump class, and he lined us all up and he said, okay, everybody jump over this string that's attached to these two standards. And it was me and one boy that was standing, and it was me that won that little mini school competition. And he came over to me and my mom was like, you need to get her in track and field. So that's where my story started. And then I came back to Bermuda, started with Rohan Simons, with Pacers, and then it was just up from there.
Wow. Congratulations on the start of your journey. And you've had quite the success so far right through college, and you can go into details. But when you think about your journey so far, what were some pivotal moments or setbacks that shaped the athlete you've become so far today?
Well, I would say one pivotal moment and challenge that I had to go through started at my college career. So I didn't have the best first few years of my college career, but I do appreciate them because they built my character. As athletes, you know your own potential, you know your goals, and you know what you want to achieve. However, other people sometimes don't be on the same line as that thought, and do have like a capability to put their own belief to yours. And so now I've gone stronger past other people's beliefs and continue to be on my belief, because you have to just be strong in your inner self and to continue to achieve your goals. And even though I didn't have the best first few years of my college experience, I was able to find another environment that helped me push my limits, especially even now finding a now current environment with the best coach, one of the best coaches I've ever had. And I had to go through injuries. A few of them were serious. I had double ankle sprain my left ankle, which was my jump-in ankle. I had a stress fracture in my lower back that I had to go off, and then I had to go concussion. But all I can say is that I'm grateful to be here, continue to achieving my goals. And so those are just a few things that I had to go through, but I'm super glad to be here.
Wow. Man, and I think I speak for many when I say there are so many people who may have given up. Like, what kept you going? What kept you going through that?
I would have to say God really put that full image of going for my goals. Like, without that belief and trusting that I'm capable and that there's more within me, I don't think I could have been where I am now. And as long as the support from my family and friends, like, it really does take a lot, as you said, but I just kept on going because I have full belief that anything's possible, and here I am as well.
Indeed, indeed. Folks, if you're tuned in on the radio, we've got Sakari Famous on the show. We're discussing her career as a high jumper and athlete. What does I love to ask people this question, and I don't get to ask too many people, but please walk us through a day. Like, what does a day look like for you? Like, paint a picture of the grind. Like, because we have a tendency to only celebrate people when they reach a status we believe they should be. But speak about the work that goes behind doing what you do.
Okay. Well, recently for my if I've given you a college and then now, college, you are schoolwork, you are training with weights, you are going on the track. So it's like 2 sessions per day. And then you're also trying to eat properly. And so even so now my schedule is able to fully focus on my performance. And so I would say it all starts from the morning to the night. So you're basically a full-time athlete from when you wake up to when you go to sleep. So I wake up, take care of my body, eat as best as I can, train for hours, high performance at that, making adjustments mentally and physically. After you're trying to recover your body as much as you can with physio, resting, mind work, mental work, and then again, trying to eat good as well, and then trying to go and get sleep as much as you can. So all of that is really a repeat, and there's really a nonstop of that because your performance is all based on what you do throughout the day.
Wow. Folks, I enjoy speaking to athletes because you learn how much goes into the things that their specialties. Like, it's not just, oh, well, you have a talent, just go out there and jump over this bar. No, it's training, it's diet. I remember speaking to Couture Horton Parent Chief. Some people, oh, she just diet. No, it's work. They don't get to enjoy the French fries and pizza like most people do, right? So one day. But there's some other challenges, and Maya has done a fantastic job of speaking to so many local athletes, been speaking about the insurance issue recently. But I don't know if our audience knows, but there's something incredible that's been happening in the track world over the last month or so with Jamaican athletes who have applied to, represent Turkey. I believe the shot put winner, his name's escaping me right now, but he's now going to be representing Turkey in the next Olympics, which I think takes 2 years. And a lot of it's coming down to finances. People, as we've had conversations with people on this show, a lot of people who are not in this space don't understand or realize how much it costs to chase an Olympic dream, right? They don't understand that this is not like, the NFL or NBA or the Premier League. Like, this is not the same kind of athlete. Can you walk us through some of the financial challenges athletes like yourself face post-college as you try to take those next steps?
Yeah, I'm glad you said post-college because during college, everything could be taken care of. As long as you're on scholarship, you have your food taken care of, you have traveling expenses taken care of, where you sleep is taken care of. And now being post-collegiate, everything and all those expenses are on your own. So I'm lucky enough to have a space in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, to train under Coach Marissa Chu at Texas Christian University, TCU. But those expenses living there, having an apartment, traveling to and back to the track, food expenses, and also the very important is being able to train and compete at other places as well with my coach. So all those really is involved, especially with the recovery. I've gotten injuries, and it doesn't stop either. Like, you can hurt yourself a little bit, but you need to be able to take care of your body. So those expenses are included as well. And so it's just really a big expense that you're taking on your own. However, you do have those official professional athletes who are able and capable to have those expenses taken care of. And so I'm just striving to be one of those as well.
Yeah, we've spoken to so many people about covering the expenses and getting the sponsorship. Sponsorships and funding seems hard to secure. It seems I think Jenny Smet is her name. She was on the show and she spoke about that recently earlier this year. Where are you finding support, or where do you wish more support would come from? I mean, I'm just going to say this, and you don't have to say it. You don't have to endorse what I'm saying, but we speak about this often on the show. There's a lot of money in Bermuda. There's a lot of money in certain spaces in Bermuda. Our athletes should have no problem. And I would hate to see what's happening to Jamaica, right? Happen in Bermuda, and it's happened before. We've got Troy Douglas, who went on to represent the Netherlands. But I would hate to see Sakari Famous, who potentially could be one of our next medalists, going on to represent someone else. But where would you like to see, like, what's the hardest part about securing funding? And, where are you finding support? And where do you wish more support would come from?
This is my first year being post-collegiate, so I wouldn't say it would be hard. I would say I just look forward to being able to connect to those who can support my journey. So I wouldn't say it's particularly hard, but I would say I look forward to reaching out and being able to connect to those, just because money is just connecting in partnership to those who can support this journey. And it's going to be a great one. I feel like I put in hard work and dedication to my sport and love and passion. And I feel like there's others who would want to join that journey as well.
Yeah. And I hope that, based on what we've learned about you this morning, I hope that by the time this show is over, people will be running to you and saying, you know what, we want to support your journey. We believe in your vision. We believe that you have the right attitude, pedigree, dedication, and commitment to represent Bermuda at the highest level. So my hope is that people will do that. Audience, if you have any questions or comments for Sakari, please send them through. We'll get through as many as possible. We've got a lot of comments. Apparently, you went to the Barclay Institute, huh?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, because you've got folks out here saying, and she is a Barclayite, and we've got Traveling Trotty, and then Valerie Williams says, "Famous, strong. We are proud of you, Sakari." And we've got Donna Reyna. She says, "So proud of you, Sakari, for hanging in there. You have so much potential." Were you a Gold House captain? Says
I was, and we won that year when I was senior. So
okay.
Gold House.
Aisha Talbot says, "So proud." Bringing tears to people. You're bringing tears to people. All right. So let's say the stars align, right? And you make it to the Olympics. Mm-hmm. What would that moment mean for you personally and for those who have supported you?
Would mean a lot. It would be like, I did it. And all the challenges and characteristics that character building situations I've done has really put me in that moment to do that. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't just say the Olympics as goes to, it's the journey before as well. Mm-hmm. Going to maybe Worlds and competing in NECAC and Commonwealth Games. All of that leads up to that moment at the Olympic Games. And I can just feel it already as this, I did it. I did it. For not just me, but for my family, for my country. And I just feel like goosebumps already that like, it's a really appreciative of hard work that I've done already, that I can see it. And when you see it, when you believe it, you can see it. So.
Indeed. Let's go to the audience. We've got quite a few questions. Charles H. Jeffs II, he's asking, what is the qualification height for the Olympics? How close are you? And how much does high level competition help to improve a high jumper?
So the qualifications for the Olympic Games is 197. I just recently jumped 185 meters, but my coach, who I'm currently under, Marissa Chu, she believes that I can go way past that. And I believe that as well. And so, but it's all about the stepping stones and consistency. So over the past few years, I didn't have the best consistent years because of the injuries and also just the situations that I have to go through. But I believe now that I'm able to have full time and focus in my career and my passion and love, I think that can be a very easy height in the upcoming years.
And it will be. We'll be cheering you on over that 197. Karen Edwards Simmons, she's asking, can you speak about the importance of having your coach and support, including mental and physical health personnel, with you at meets/competitions and post-collegiate?
Very good question. I would say having a coach and having a really good coach in any environment is very imperative. Being a professional athlete, I was able to work with my coach since December, and her capabilities and her experience was able to get me my national record just in May. So I feel like over the next few years, being able to bring her where I go and also following her and training with her is very important, and is very important for me to as I go on in my couple of years.
Indeed. We've got more questions. They're coming for you. Anika Shields asking, how old were you when you first competed in the Carifta Games?
Oh, nice. I was 13 years old when I first did my Carifta Games in the Bahamas. And 6 years after that, I consecutively won medals at the Carifta Games. So that was a fun time. I enjoyed traveling to the Carifta Games and also getting a medal for my country since 13 years old.
Indeed. Are there any people, before we go back to the audience, is there anyone in Bermuda in particular? I know like Clarence Nicky Saunders won gold at the Commonwealth Games, I believe it was. Like, have you developed any rapport with like maybe a Clarence Nicky Saunders or even a Couture Horton Parent Chief or Brian Wellman? Like, do they offer any?
Clarence Nicky Saunders is actually family, so I think it's a good inspiration for me to continue on the path that I am. And it's also great to be in contact with just the athletes who've done absolutely amazing for Bermuda. It's constant inspiration. And I have to give a great shout out for Brian Wellman, because he actually made in contact with my current coach now. And so I'm super grateful for the community of that he allowed me to create out there in Texas. So I have to big shout out for him. A huge thank you.
I love that. I love that. Julie says, such a talented and articulate young lady. Rosalind Famous says, love the powerful, positive mindset. Got me inspired today, Sakari. Well,
all day.
On a Monday too, folks. You're going to have people loving their jobs today.
Great. Let's go. Not just today.
We've got another question. Anika DeShields asking, how many meets would you like to compete in annually? And are they all in the USA or international? And also, let me add to that question. Do you have to be invited to meets or can you choose meets?
Well, there are meets that I can choose to go to, but there are meets that you have to jump a certain height and also be at a caliber to be invited to, like the Diamond Leagues, but I feel like it'll be there soon. But it does take, again, funding and sponsorship to be able to go to those meets, even in the US. And there's the US and Canada that I could also go to because these meets are very important. It's where I'm able to gain points for the World Athletics. I'm able to reach for higher goals and also improve my national records. So competing and traveling to these meets are very imperative, and that's where sponsorship and being financially able to go is very important.
Yeah, you the follow-up question for you first competed in the Carifta Games at 13, and then she's asking, how old were your competitors in that first Carifta Games?
I believe we were all the same age, so be under 15. I can't remember. It was a bit ago. But yeah, we were around the same age, probably like 13, 14.
You know, beyond the medals, right? Beyond the medals and everything that comes with that, the hoopla and people cheering, what legacy do you hope to leave both on and off the track as an athlete representing your country?
I think the main thing is just sharing love and light to others, continuous positivity, and then just also having true trust in yourself and following your passion. And I know that track and field may not go on forever, but it will continuously be in my heart. And also I might find another passion. So I do fully believe on following your passion and that anything is possible as well. And that is just what I want to lead by, that you are able to do anything you want to, anything you can, and have capability and true belief, as long as you trust the process. It may be long, it may be short, and it's just enjoying the moments as well.
How important is family support, community support in terms of what you do?
It is very important. I would say family is just super important to me. I love my mom. She's been there since forever, like constantly in my head, like you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And being supported by my family, like you're doing a great job, keep on going. And that is just really appreciative of me, that I had that support. And so it's just truly just important to me, having that behind and in front of me. So.
What can we, the Bermudian community, what can we do to better support you in your efforts as you aim to not only accomplish something that someone probably hasn't done. We haven't had a high jumper medal in the Olympics before, but what can we do to ensure that you have the support needed to accomplish what it is you're setting yourself out to do?
I think it's just continuous support as athletes, not just me, all the other athletes and also track and field athletes appreciate seeing, hearing all the support that Bermuda creates for us, especially in our last national championships. I appreciate seeing my family there, being able to see me jump on home soil, and all the other supporters as well. So but we do appreciate all the support. We see it all and just drives us more to go and achieve our goals because it's great and we will love everybody to be along with our journey. So.
Alrighty. And one last thing, we learned something else about you. Rosalind Famous says, don't forget Sakari is also an artist who had her work displayed at City Hall. So you love art. I
do love art. It really started actually when I got my first injury, when I sprained my ankle. I was like, I loved art when I was little, but during that time I was able to create these pieces that I really enjoyed and found a real talent for. SAF Art BDA on Instagram is where my art can be found. I have to turn it back on because I did shut off Instagram for a bit. So I do have to turn it off, but it'll be on if you want to see my art. I did have it displayed at BSOA, who've also supported me on my art journey, which I truly appreciated. So yeah, I do have a little bit of talent. I'm hoping to soon create some more art pieces that y'all can support as well. That'll be along that can be towards my athletic journey. So yeah, if you want to look towards that too. But I do enjoy art. It's another passion that I may continue after my high jump.
I love this. I'm smiling. Multi-talented. We love to see it. Sakari, please stay in touch. We want to make sure that you definitely have the support that's needed, whether it's financial. We have to ensure that our athletes have what they need to be successful. Again, just seeing what's happening in Jamaica is something I don't want countries like ours to face. I mean, we are small island nations, and it's important that we have our best representing us on the biggest stage. So congratulations on all you've accomplished so far. As the editor of the Rogue Gazette, Dexter Smith says, good luck, Sakari. We will be watching. I'm going to say good luck, Sakari. We will be supporting. Thank you so much. And please don't be a stranger. Folks, if you know someone who has the means to financially support or sponsor this young lady, please reach out. How can people reach out to you if need be?
Yes, if you want to reach out to Instagram, you can find my Sakari Famous on Instagram. However, I do have an email, sfhighjump@gmail.com, if you want to reach out through email. But I do appreciate all the love and support that I have, and I'll continuously to follow my passion because it's what I love to do, and also perform for others to see. But it's really just close to my heart that I'm able to continue on this journey. So.
Thank you so much. We'll definitely be in touch. And folks, if sfhighjump@gmail.com, have a wonderful day and all the best to you, Sakari.
Thank you so much.
All right. Sakari Famous, folks, if you appreciated the conversation, please do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Make sure you share the conversation with your friends, your family, your colleagues. We're going to take our final break. I'm going to come back. I'll give some final words, and we're going to give a daily play. The daily play, I'm going to give this to you a hint. Because we had one of our young women on involving sports, the answer or the question is around a similar young woman who was very successful in a college career in the United States. We'll be back after this.
Forget the usual, ditch the ordinary, go off-grid, where adventure meets barefoot luxury. Welcome to Off-Grid RV Bermuda, the island's first recreational vehicle retreat where nature meets luxury in a fully solar-powered Airstream RV. Enjoy eco-conscious linens, cozy robes, a stove, and full bath in a mobile home. You'll find peace in every detail of your stay. Now accepting bookings for overnight stays and half-day escapes. We deliver and set up your Airstream at one of our 10 hand-picked island gems or right to your private residence. Whether it's a honeymoon, golf getaway, birthday, or solo recharge, you'll get quality service every time. Book now at offgridrvbermuda.com and discover the sleep, serenity, and scenery you've been craving.
Hey, you all right, boy? I don't know, man. I finished running 20 minutes ago, and I feel like I'm still panting.
Look like you need to recover. Try this here. New drink. Oh, you're like you want to go to the hospital in 2 seconds ago. This will make you fast like Flora.
Tastes good.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, we again.
I'm recovered, boy.
Being from this little island, like yourself, we knew you needed access to reliable shipping. We set up mailboxes so you can skip all the long waits or held up in customs excuses.
With mailboxes, that won't happen. Get your packages in under 48 hours using our dashboard.
Plus, if you're a planner or headerer, our weekly consolidation service might be for you. We hold your packages in Delaware and ship them together to save you big time on shipping fees.
And with our warehouse being in Delaware, that means 0% sales tax. Pretty cool, right guys?
Looking for the best care for your pets? Noah's Ark Feed and Supply has everything you need. From top quality foods to toys and supplies, we've got it all. Join our frequent buyer program and earn rewards every time you shop. Plus, we've been awarded the Clever Customer Initiative program for helping you save more. And don't forget, we open an hour early on Saturdays so you can get a head start on your pet care. Visit us today or shop online for easy pickup or delivery. Your pets will thank you.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Big Show. Thanks again to Sakari Famous for joining us this morning. Folks, please help us beat the algorithm, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter X, YouTube, whatever platform you're on. Do us that favor. Help us beat the algorithm. Support this young woman. She is going to be something special. She's already something special, but she's going to be something special. Make sure you give us a like, love, follow, share the link with your friends, your family, your colleagues. Make sure as many people as you know have access to these community conversations as possible. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medicals, Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can actually pump through your airwaves so that those who cannot watch can at least listen on the radio. Folks, it is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. All right. Are you ready? It's Bermuda Trivia today. It's sports related. All right. She was another young Bermudian woman who competed in D1 in the collegiate level. Her name is Leilani Nesbitt. Leilani Nesbitt won the Women's NCAA Soccer National Championship while attending what university? Oops. Okay. Well, yeah. Traveling Trotty got it. FSU. Well, yeah, it's Florida State University. FSU. You're all on form. Yes, Traveling Trotty, Florida State University. And no, it was not Howard. She went to Florida State University. She was, I think they call them the Seminoles. Yeah, I think they call them the Seminoles. Leilani Nesbitt. She, I think she won 2 national championships with Florida State University. She played for their women's soccer team in the Division 1. So big up. She's now playing in Chicago professionally. So big up to all of our athletes out there doing well. I'll tell you, we have some people doing extremely great things. So big up to all of them who are committed and dedicated. Keep in mind, they don't have regular college lives. Like, they have to train. They don't get to go out partying and having fun with friends. This is not a party. All right, so let's do this. Final thoughts on as far as the conversation with Cost of Living Summit. I want to go back to some comments because we didn't get through some of the comments at the end. But regarding the why there's an embargo from Florida, Cherie Dill actually said, I believe mentioned Florida has some bugs that we don't want to hear. Yes, the pests to protect the environment. That was a big thing. And we also had Emily Gail Dill, MP Dill says she watched online and I was off island. I found it helpful to have a variety of perspectives across industries shared, and I look forward to us together, working together to action the most feasible solutions. So yeah, I think, look, at the end of the day, I want whatever was discussed in this summit. I want the solutions to be embraced. I want them to be enacted. I don't want us to be having the same conversation a year from now. I don't think it's helpful. Let's get to work. I finally listened to my business partner. I don't open my computer and work on Saturdays. But come Sunday, I'm right back into it. We need people who are not afraid to get their hands dirty and make tough decisions. The work needs to be done. Bermuda's current living situation, it's not sustainable for people who are not in multi-income households. Something has to be done. All right. As far as the conversation with Sakari Famous, I absolutely appreciate having that conversation for so many reasons. I want to give a shout out to Anika DeShields for making it happen. A shout out to everyone who engaged today. Our athletes need our support, not just when they win. We have a tendency to show up when they win. But along that journey, that's the toughest part. We need to find a way to support them, be there. Maya and I were talking last week. We need to fill up our stadium when there's track events, when there's football events, it's hockey. We need to get out, put our phones down, leave the internet for a while, embrace and enjoy those who actually need our support in person. I tell you what, she said she took her Instagram down. These athletes are not people who need your likes and follows for validation. What they need is your support in any way you're able to give it to them, to help them represent us, you, our community, as they bid to do something that few have done before. Congratulations to Sakari Famous, and wish her all the best going forward. I need to get a daily inspiration for you. So I'm just gonna, that's the joke book. You don't want to joke at this point. Let me bring out the see what it lands on. All right. Let's see. Mike Tyson. No, we're not going to read that one. No. Quote, real freedom is having nothing. I was freer when I didn't have a cent. End quote. It's Mike Tyson. Interesting quote. I think Biggie Smalls said it best. More money, more problems. All right, folks. Time to get out of here, but please don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lenders, People's Pharmacy, and Hot 1075 for ensuring that we can pump through your airwaves. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.